back everybody, back to the next episode. And yes, the research is done. So I'm gonna show you guys how to work it. And we need to choose a color here. So I'm gonna choose green at the moment, because I wanted to. And then we need a lot of combinators as well. So I'm gonna make those as well. Those decider combinators are basically an if statement. If something is something, output something. And we have also the arithmetic combinator. Basically arithmetic combinator. Sorry, terrible English. Which makes calculations. So basically add something to it, divide it, or those things. And then we have the constant combinator, outputting a constant signal. And then we have the power switch, is basically an on-off switch for multiple machines at the same time. So you don't have to set them up all at the same time. Then we have the programmable speaker. It's basically a siren or something you want to place and connect it. So if you want a notification of something happening around you, that's the way to do it. And then we have two wires. Most machines can hold them all two at the same time, but they separate to circuitry. So if you need to connect, for example, one chest to two circuits, they do not connect to each other. So you cannot receive multiple of the same sensor. So let's start off. What I'm currently doing, and it looks weird, is basically connecting those lines on the belt. And you can see those boxes around the belt existing. They are all connected to the green line. There we go. That's all. And I cannot connect it to there. The green line is now connected to all the belt items. So now we are gonna do a lot of things. First we're gonna do this one and hold. This one, hold. This one, hold. I need to do that with all the belts. It's a lot of work, but it will pay off later on. And it's kind of magic we are doing. We are programming at the moment. It's basically the same with electricity, ones and zeros. Currently I tell it to not disable itself, because I can disable the belt with electricity as well. But I want it not to give a pulse when something goes over it. I want it to hold the signal as long as there are items on it with the items it's currently holding. So we can connect them all together. And when we are connecting them all together, you will see what I mean in a second. I'm trying to do it as quickly as possible, but it's always a lot of work to do. I can make less ones, and I can also make a memory chip to memorize how much I put on the belt, but if I do that, we have a lot of redstone-y things to do. Well, I say redstone because I'm used to Minecraft. A lot of electricity to mount on different sites, and I can still not get a way to make a memory chip work correctly. I have another save game which I play on, and that other save game has the best thing I've ever built. A timer based switch. It switched from one bottle to the other, to the other, to the other, and then start over again. So every bottle gets spit out onto the belt in the same amount of time for the same amount of items. And then when the loop is full, they will return to the chest where they got off, if they are still on the belt. And then they get put on it and again when they're needed again. So when the timer gets to there and again. And I did that one with fish. Sounds strange, but we have fish in this game. It's almost useless. It's basically a kind of health potion, I believe. I have never used those fish, and I'm gonna not use them again. But they are very, very handy when using it with other stuff. So there we go. They are all connected now, and you can see these blue lights over here. Those blue lights may not be flickering at the moment, so I'm gonna follow the bottles on the belt currently, see if something is flickering, but I don't think I saw something anymore. When they're blue, they are outputting a signal. Those signals are something we are gonna check. So we have 8 chests here, so we also need 8 of these comparators. I call them comparators because they compare a signal with a value. So the first things first, we are going to check different bottle kinds. So I'm going to put in the bottles with chests. So I'm starting on the top and changing them to the bottles I want. So we start on red, then green, then blue, then gray, then pink or magenta or whatever you want to call it, then purple, yellow, and lastly white. We want to make sure that it's not above a certain amount. So we are going to change this one to 1, and we are going to change this one to the amount we not want to go lower on the belt than that. So in this case I want at least 30 of each on the belt. It's a lot at the moment, but we do not have much bottles needed at the moment. So let's change them all to 30. It's a lesson to be learned. And when we all change them to 30, if they come to 29, it will enable the output. But because there is a delay before it enters the belt, they create more bottles than required on the belts. So we have a kind of buffer. Next thing we're going to do is change everything to a 1 over here. So we are changing everything to a 1. And last but not least, we need to create a channel we want to check on. So we are going to here and click on this green signal chippy thing. And then we can see that it will... basically, I can choose any channel. These are signal channels. So they have their own channel. So if I have a circuit A and circuit B, I can give them their own channel. And then they can get their own value on the channel. Currently, because I want it to have the right bottles, I can all give them a B signal. And no, I'm gonna not connect them to each other. Most people are gonna complain, why do the same channel for each one? Because it's easier to connect them all together and then all different channels on the same line. And I do not like to work with that, because then I get the problem of reconnecting everything, and because everything is close by, I do not need to. Well, as you can see here, B is 1 on all of these because it doesn't have a worth. It doesn't get a value at all. So it outputs a 1 because it finds it lower than 30. But if I get my green wire here and connect this one to all these machines on the right side, because that's the input side, we can see here that this one is now not turning on a B anymore on the right. And you can also see 108 green bottles because the belt contains 108 bottles. Yes, it contains 108 green bottles. So, what shall we do? We are gonna connect the wire from here to exactly the opposite side. What we're now doing is getting the output into those hands, and they now are all red. Why are they red? Because I did not give a opening value. So in this one, I have put B as belt. So I'm gonna take the B and I say is true, which is 1. If it is 1, I do it. But I can also do it another way. I can always do this one. If any of the input signals, but it then checks every signal. So I'm always doing what I program it into. I find it useful. So, and if we do it well, all belts should be on except for the green one. So it's channel B. It must equal 1 to be turned on. And this one is also channel B. It must equal 1 to be turned on. And this one as well, it should be B equal to 1. And this one as well, b equal to 1. It's annoying to repeat it every time. Shush. There we go. Now they are all turned on, except for the green one, because the green one is more than enough on the belt. We need red, right? So I'm gonna take the 106 red bottles. We have programmed in to fill it up until it reaches at least 30. The first one is red, as you can see over here. So I'm gonna put 106 red bottles here. Now it started adding them to the line. And if we put our mouse on here, we can see that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18, 22, 25, 27, 31. Hey, it stops adding the red bottles. Now there are 35 red bottles on the belt. If we take a look at our chest over here, there are still red bottles. But it does not spit them out because there are more than enough on the belt. So if I start a research at the moment, which only requires red bottles, it starts using the red bottles, and as you can see here, it starts adding them because it's lower than the requirement, because it gets added to research facilities when it needs it. So when it needs it, it will refill the bottles required. I have put it on the left top because it takes a while for it gets to the first research station to get put in, so that I will not overflow the left top line with those bottles. There is now red bottles over the whole line, going through round and round and round. It's hard to see, but I can see a lot of green at the moment, and not as much red, but as you can see before, it outputs it correctly. So now I'm gonna start the next research, which is also red research, and it keeps going on with the process. So let's go down over here. Let me see, here was, and get all those green bottles, because we have more than enough green bottles. And then go up over here to the second chest and put all those green bottles in. What it now does, when the green bottles get below our threshold, they also get added to the belt. And that way we get a circular motion to do it. So let's start by making 2 roads, one for the red one and one for the green one, to get to the chest. So I will leave them with a buffer. So that's something we are surely gonna do. And in order to do it correctly, I need to make some underground belts. And I can see that I made a mistake over here. And I'm gonna protect it. There we go. And then we're gonna do it here, outside of the base, because I don't want to make it harder than it should be. And then I'm out of iron, so I'm gonna go to here. And then I think it was here. Yeah, here it is. There we go. Just a moment left, and then I have 2 underground setups. Those underground belts are very handy for long distances. But as you can see here, we have a lot of red bottles going up already. But we do not have enough red tunnels, so we need to wait. As long as it gets the bottles, they will enter this belt and get through the other chest. If that chest is full, it starts filling up the belt. If the belt is full, it's filling up the buffer. And if that one is full, the factory stops producing until the belt has some clearance. The same counts for the green over here. We have the green belt over here. And I'm gonna make a belt going all the way here, but because I do not have enough iron with me, I cannot craft more. So I'm gonna pick some more iron, and then make some more. There we go, and research complete. Let's improve our speed of our research facilities. Now it starts using the green bottles as well. So let's take a look. If I hold my mouse on top of one of the checking systems, I can see that I have 29 red bottles. So it starts filling up the red bottles again. And then we have 106 green bottles. Because I have added manual bottle processing here, I can remove those green ones. And you can see that they get added to the system directly. So let me remove the too much on the green ones. I did that one. and add them to this chest, to the buffer. Now, if I hold my mouse on it, I can see 96 green bottles still on the belt. But soon enough, those are lost, gone, and away. If I want to make sure that we have more than enough on the belt, I can always choose to reverse this line over here. Remove this one for the moment. And place it down here and here. And then I can place this one going up and around. And then on the belt. There we go. What I did now is making sure that there is a time between placing them on the belt and going to the belt. That way it takes a little bit longer to get on the belt when there is low on, but if there is low on, it will add more to the belt than required than we currently. Currently we had a buffer of 5, so it creates 5 more than needed. But it's not required anymore, and I'm still waiting. But because we are waiting, I do have the rail at the moment, the conveyor. So I'm gonna put it here and then go this way up. And I still have to wait because I do not have the gears. It's creating them. Well, as we can see here, it lowers down. It's 79 green bottles, 77, 73. And it keeps on doing this one. And I can see that the red bottles do not have anything in stock anymore. So what I'm going to do at the moment is go to the left here, remove my wall temporarily, and pick up all my red bottles. We do not want to continue the research, and we do not have research at the moment. So 56 bottles are being added to belt. As you can see, it goes up now. Well, green is going down because it's more than enough on the belt. 24, 26, 29, 30, 33, 35. And lowers again to 32, 31, 30, and when it goes to 29, it starts producing the red bottles again. In a few moments, we are gonna see that. Yeah, there we go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. The buffer is big enough to give 6 new bottles. Good. Now we're gonna place this one over here to there. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here for the second part. And then I'm gonna move down towards this belt where the green ones are going to be. At the moment I do it on the top of the ground because I do not have much resources to make it all underground. But it's at least something I can do. And yes, I can make it with yellow ones, but I like the speed builds because it otherwise takes a long time if the belt is empty to continue on with their process. And I'm gonna place here the entrance and here the exits so that those are connected. Another useful hint or tip in this game is when you move forward on a belt at speed, you can see you move faster than normally. It's a quick way to travel, so I used to make a speed lane. So I'm gonna make a speed lane later on to go with speed to my other destinations, like my friend. So, but that's something for later on. I'm still waiting. I want to finish this project before the end of this video, so we are gonna take the video to another level and continue on trying to make it work before I stop recording. And before the next video, I will make sure that I get enough resources. And next time we are gonna make a system that makes the gray bottles as far as we can. So it's a little bit of waiting. In a few moments I can place the last few belts. And then I can place the arm that moves the green bottles onto the belts. So there we go. And then place this one back. There we go. As you can see here, the green were empty and now it starts holding them in place. So yeah. Now red is empty, so it adds red again. And now it's going continuously because the red bottles are keep being made and the green same thing. So I've now connected the green one and it starts emptying them out. And you can see that the empty, well, the new green bottles are moving up as fast as they can to their destination over here. They will get filled as long as this will keep getting filled. But if the chest is full, it stops filling that and then the belt will fill up. So as you can see here, the bottles go in underground here, and this one is moving them from the belt into the chest. Hopefully sooner or later I can improve my red bottle maker here, and I think I'm gonna do it before I end this episode. So let me remove everything over here. I do not like the way it's currently working, so let me improve it. I can't do anything else. So I'm making one of the new factory types, and let me turn this one off for now. Most of them may be turned off. There we go, and there we go. Ah, research complete. Let's see, what am I going to research now? Let me do the speed research again? Why not? Let's improve our research facilities to make use. So, as you can see over here, the belt is still full of items and still in our march. Currently it's all pretty low, as I can see. 30 is not a lot on the belt. But it's enough that every factory will get their bottles. Every research facility. What I can do is, for example, turn this one higher, like 50. But I want to do that when I have the correct bottle amount on the belt. Currently it's not a lot that's on the belt, but there is enough. But as soon as more types go onto the belt, I do not want to get stuck. Because if it gets stuck, then we have a problem. Then we have a huge problem. There we go. And if I place this one here, and this one also here. And did I have the rotation already? Yes, I have. Then we can do this one. There. Good. Good. And then I'm gonna do this one, this one, this one, this one. And this one must be 2 over. There we go. And this one is a different story. I want the 2 to the left. Well, why do we do strange like this? 2 to the right. There we go. I really like that mod, so we can alter the way the hands are working. So now we have 2 factories making red bottles. They are both placing the red bottles onto the belts. It's a good thing. The right one is doing it correctly, and same for the left one, I believe. Yeah, left one as well. And now we have doubled the speed it creates the red bottles. So I hope it's working like I want it to. But as I can see here, we have 2 factories doing nothing. Why? Because the red bottles are empty. We do not have enough red bottles producing, so I hope that the speed belt is now taking its way here, the speed thingy things. But as I can see here, that oh, make a little mistake, not a problem. There we go, and then this one here, and then to the left. That's the reason why. So that works. Look at that. Red bottles going in and going directly on the belt because we do not have enough. But now we have 2 working factories. The next thing we need to research, however, we need to take our way and make our way to the first speeding research. But for that one we need a lot of other research. This one. Advanced electronics, which will add the blue bottles as well. But I want also the gray bottles. to be visible. Let's see which research we require for that one. Did I already research that one? Oh yeah, I already researched it. This is the gray one. The gray one is needed for the high-tech research thing. So that's something we are gonna do in the next episode. I thank you all for watching this episode. Here in this base, I will take my way to my friend's base to get some copper between the episodes, and I see you all next time. Thank you all for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Good luck!